Okay, call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Here.
Mr. DeSarno?
Here.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Mr. Munoz?
Present.
Mrs. McKnight? Here. Mrs. Belisca?
Present.
Let's salute the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we go any further, I just want to wish everybody a happy Diwali. May the light prevail over darkness. So I know there were a lot of celebrations last night, and we hope everybody had a joyous time. This is a public meeting of the Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975. Chapter 231, that annual notice of revision was made in conformance to 6, Chapter 13 of the Act. We have public hearing on ordinance 2022-12. Please read the title.
An ordinance of the Borough of New Providence to establish a registry for business insurance certificates.
What this is a registry that the state has mandated every municipality to do. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, at this time, anybody wishing to address council with that ordinance and that ordinance only, please raise your hand. Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 13, please read the title.
An ordinance of the Borough of New Providence to amend the Borough Code to add a new chapter 166 titled Lead Paint Testing.
This is also mandated by the state. It's for testing lead paint in multifamily housing. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Anybody wishing to address council on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
A couple of weeks ago, we had National Hispanic Heritage Day. And it was a great program that was put on by members of our community. And one of the main contributors to it, Nick Velasquez, come on up, Nick. Nick, come on up. I don't know you. Nick made this beautiful picture, handmade, intricate. It's just unbelievable. And, you gave it to us at you presented it to us at that celebration. But I wanted you to show everybody this picture that you made, at a council meeting, because I think it's important. And you want to explain what's in it?
Yeah, so so basically the prompt for it was we need those inclusivity for a strong nation, which I put there. Basically, I incorporated all the different flags and just included everybody in it, just to really hit home with the actual message that it's supposed to bring out to everybody else. And I wanted to make it very colorful, other than just the flags, because that's what it's all about, the colors, the culture, everything like that. And this sun here is actually, it's used a lot throughout like pottery and everything like that. So it's very well known. So I decided to put it there, have America's there, with the different flags, in it, so that it could show that there's Latinos and Latinos all throughout America. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, we're going to hang this prominently somewhere in the borough, and if anybody wants to, please really take a look at this, because there's a lot of intricate detail in here. just incredible. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We certainly have some incredible, talented students in town here. Okay, need approval of minutes for October 11th.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
No? So be it. We have a letter here from Louisa Sagendorf about the high school, middle school traffic. And I see Louisa's here tonight. The New Providence Police Department counted cars on Valentine from 9:27 to 10:04. There were 2,168 vehicles on the road for an average of 309 cars per day. Of the 2,068, 1,620 were traveling 24 miles per hour or less. So we did send, after we got the letter, sent the police out there to take a look at it. So, but you know, we will get back to the traffic division and see if we can't get something else done at Valentine. Okay, Eastern States Environmental, it's hardship exception, that's for over by Bar's Market. Okay, and I know he's working with DEP to get that done. Okay, State of New Jersey, Department of Transportation, Safe Routes to School, and we are currently working with 2 different companies to get those grants fulfilled. Okay, any comments?
Yep.
Okay, council business, engineering, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is Resolution 2022-263, which is a resolution accepting the proposal of Collier Engineering and Design, Inc. for professional engineering services regarding the New Providence Memorial Library HVAC unit replacement project. So we are approving, Collier's Engineering just for the design and the bidding services to replace 3 roof-mounted AC units over at the library. That's not to exceed $9,500. Resolution 2022-264 is a resolution approving shared services agreement for wastewater operations and maintenance between the Borough of New Providence and the City of Summit. So this is our 3-year shared services agreement with the City of Summit. This is where the borough assumes operations and maintenance of 4 sewer system pump stations, as outlined in the agreement, through December 31st, 2025. Resolution 2022-265 is a resolution refunding partial cost of construction, permit number 22-33842. This is a partial refund. Homeowner applied for a permit to do a construction job, renovation, and decided not to move forward. So we are refunding their fee minus 20% for the review of the plans.
Okay, finance, might as well keep going, Matt.
Resolution 2022-266 is a resolution approving the filing of CY 2022 SFY 2023 Best Practices Inventory Questionnaire. This is our annual best practice checklist. This year, 69 questions in total. Every year we get this checklist. It asks a bunch of questions for our best practices in the borough. We answer the questions, send it back to the state. Based on the answer to the questions, we get scored, and our score is above 100%, which basically means the borough will receive its full state aid from New Jersey State in next year's budget.
Okay, we have a limousine license for...
One more.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay. Resolution 2022-267 is a resolution authorizing payment of the attached bills payable list in the amount of $498,754.15 to the significant items there. W.E. Timmerman Co., $127,353 for the replacement of a leaf vacuum, which is very important this time of year. And the state of New Jersey, $102,185 for our October state health benefit premium. That's it.
Okay, we have a limousine license for Shahid Akram from Summit Express. It was properly prepared and reviewed. Public Works, Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. So we have Resolution 2022-268. This is a resolution awarding a contract to Grand Sanitation Service, 1630 South 2nd Street in Plainfield, New Jersey, for recycling collection and marketing. We had mentioned before that we were going out to bid for the recycling, and we also anticipated an increase in this price, and sure enough, that's what happened. So this recycling collection, it's for recycling collection and marketing. It's for the years 2023 to 2027. The entire amount is $2,006,851. It's a 6.8% increase over what we're currently paying. But it also includes 3% increases each year. So from 2023 to 2027, there's going to be a 3% bump every year in that cost. Another thing that's changed is that recycling, starting in January, will be moved to Wednesdays. I know that we're all used to Fridays, and I have to remember to put it out on Tuesday nights, so it will be collected on Wednesdays. January 4th will be the first pickup on the east side, and then January 11th will be the first pickup on the west side of town. I just wanted to, while we're talking about recycling, just give a little bit of background as to what we look for when we're looking at these recycling companies. And there's a couple different components that we require. Bidders, they have to prove by experience that they're capable of collecting, processing, and/or marketing recyclable materials. They have to give us references from municipalities such as ours that with similar requirements and comparable size and population. They have to make sure, or we make sure, that they have the appropriate equipment and personnel available to do everything that we're asking them to do. The successful bidder is responsible for the curbside collection of the recyclable materials from all housing units, plus 9 municipal government buildings. And altogether, we've got 9 municipal government buildings plus 4,624 single-family homes. And the contractor is going to provide a report on a monthly basis to our municipal recycling coordinator as to how much they've collected. So that's a very detailed, specific report with designated weights of each and every recyclable that they've collected. After Grand Sanitation collects the material, it goes over to Bayshore Recycling Corporation in Keesby, New Jersey, and that's where it gets marketed. So they're the ones that actually then separate it and market it out. They separate aluminum, steel, tin cans, glass bottles and jars, plastics, which include milk, water, soda, laundry containers, newspapers, cardboards, your junk mail. So that all gets, they collect it commingled, they separate it and market it from there. Just a little background for you.
Thank you. Just real quick, the Recycle Coach app as well, right?
That will be updated. So the calendars, the Recycling Coach app, and the website will be updated with the new pickup for recycling.
I live by that thing. I love it.
Yeah, I think you're on Wednesday now. So, okay. Any discussion items?
I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Last night, Councilman DeSarno and myself met with Tom Fody, who is with the New Providence Community Pool Corporation. As you know, the Community Pool for New Providence, it's its own separate entity from the borough. The borough owns the property, but we lease it to the New Providence Pool Corporation, and they run all of the operations for it. They're still recovering from the devastating effects that COVID had on their budget from a couple of years ago. So, they have enough money to run their own operations, but they don't have enough money to use on any capital projects or improvements that they would like to make. So Tom came to us and he said, Rob and Pete, several years ago, the town and the community pool worked together to do these basketball courts that are there now. So they're lit, they're fenced in. In the summers, during the mornings, they're used by the borough for our rec programs, and then in the afternoons, it's turned over to the pool board for them to use for their guests. And then at night, it's opened up again to the general public. And those have been by far one of the biggest hits that we've ever done in New Providence. If you go by that basketball court anytime at night, you'll see kids playing there all the time. So he said he would like to do another similar project where the pool board is envisioning doing a sand or a beach volleyball court, kind of where the shuffleboard courts are now. So they would move those to a different part of the pool, regrade that area where the shuffleboard courts are now, and then put in a beach volleyball facility or area there. But that's going to cost money for the regrading, for the moving of the shuffleboard courts. They would also envision doing a permanent table tennis, table, I guess, there as well. So he's looking to gauge the borough's interest in doing another deal like we did when we built the basketball courts. I think we split that. When you remember, was it 80-20?
I don't recall, I'd have to look it up.
But so he's looking to gauge your interest. We'd be amenable to doing something like that again, so they could do the beach volleyball.
Do they have any idea what the cost is?
Yeah, so he's figuring it'll cost about $150, kind of rough numbers, before they engage an engineer to start looking at the actual numbers. He just kind of wants to get a feel from us.
Okay, I think we really have to work it into our capital if we decide.
I agree.
I think it's too early to decide now, but, I think that's something we should.
Something we put in the staging of our capital. That's a very good point, Mayor.
Yeah, he understands that. He knows that it's not
Yeah.
going to, we're not going to give a decision and it'll be done overnight.
The only thing I'd add, and that was a great recap, by the way. He brought up some interesting things. The pool is obviously, we all central to our community and really a hub. It services a lot of members and a lot of residents. He also, Tom is also pretty forward-looking as far as making sure that wanting the pool to stay relevant with teenagers and people. So that's why he wants to continue to do these type of projects. So I think it's worth to take a look at it.
Rob, would the volleyball courts be open to the public outside of the pool?
Yeah, so it would be just like the basketball courts. They would fence it off and it would be open to the public, to the rec department during the day, in the mornings at least, in the summers, and then to the pool in the afternoons and evenings. So he did talk to Allison Smith, who's our rec department head, and she said, yeah, they would be interested in sharing that kind of a court. And they could put together programming for the borough.
That was my exact question. I was wondering if it would operate the same way with residents being able to use it. And it makes a lot of good sense because I think right now they have 3 shuffleboard courts there.
Right.
And to be honest, nobody really uses them for that. They have them now for cornhole. They do have a table tennis that's on one of the shuffleboard courts right now. So that's much better usage of that space than what it's assigned for right now.
Yeah, so they noticed a trend of older teenagers not coming back to the community pool once they kind of hit high school. So he wants to try to bring them back by, hopefully, having events for them at this beach volleyball court. They also host a number of teen nights that are just for teens. He also wants to hold activities for seniors as well, so that seniors could come and use the pool, free of charge on a particular day. And I think he's also looking to put together maybe a community kind of event where the whole town can come use the pool for free on a particular day.
So I've looked into beach volleyball, right? I was trying to find a place to put it, right? A couple different parks in town, like where can we put one? Lincoln, there's a spot. Maybe at Oakwood, there's a spot. Maybe, so we were looking, and the drawback was that we couldn't find enough space that we could also fence it in, because it's important to have it fenced in, or else, animals come in at night and, things of that nature. So having that in that spot with a fenced-in location, I mean, it checks the boxes, so.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing.
Well, you got your bathing suit on anyway over there.
That sounds good.
Okay, yeah, let's put it on for capital review. And we'll see where we're at. Okay, any other discussion items? Seeing none, go to committee reports. I went to the American Legion, read a proclamation. They've been in town 75 years. So congratulations to them. Nadine and I went to the 100th anniversary of the Summit New Providence Rotary Club. And it was really nice.
It was very nice.
I didn't know they did all the things that they said they would.
Amazing
Okay.
interaction with the kids and
Yeah.
handing out dictionaries, and then now to the middle school, they hand out Declaration of Independence and Constitutions. It's great.
The trunk or treat, which was held in conjunction with the PBA in conjunction with the Lions Club, was very, very well attended. Everybody had a good time, and they had some winners on the pumpkin carving too. It was a great family day. Halloween this year, we know is Monday. In the past, we said you put a table up by the driveway. You can go back to normal if you want to put a table out. I thought it was better doing it that way. Get to talk with the kids and everything else, but you can do it whatever way you want. We want to congratulate the girls' tennis team for being state champions. That's incredible. Let's see. Oh, be careful with we're starting the lead pickup, especially when it's wet. Be careful on the side streets, slippery, and you can get into accidents, and kids have a habit of playing into piles of leaves. So, next chat with the mayor is November 4th. And last month was good. We had, you were there, Nadine, right? And Diane, you were there. And it was quite nice. So, and to top it off, the library had revamped their dollhouse for the kids. And I did a ribbon cutting there, which was nice. So, Matt, you're next.
Okay, so last weekend I was able to attend the New Providence Cricket Club had their second annual barbecue. They're 2 years old. They invited us, Councilwoman Jeff Roy, the mayor, as well as Councilwoman Felixo were all there. It was really, really neat. These guys run a really great club. We're getting to learn, cricket. They're handing out these awards for MVP and most batted runs, and one of them was, what was the striking percentage, right? So in baseball, striking percentage is, throwing a strike, but in cricket, it's how many times you can hit the ball that's pitched, so it's kind of opposite. So pretty neat, but really fun time. They run a great operation. I want to thank them. As you guys all know, we're putting in a cricket pitch at our Warner Field, and just to give everybody an update on that, we're just waiting right now for the vendor to provide us with the cost, right? So, and that'll be the next steps. The next step would be for us to get the amount that it's going to cost. If it's in we're going through the co-op, so which is we explained a few meetings back, which means we don't have to go out for bid. Go through the co-op, which helps actually lower the cost as well. And once we get that back, we'll approve that, and we'll be moving forward on the pitch, and look forward to throwing out the first bowl. That's what it's called.
And don't forget, 9 o'clock Saturday at Lincoln Field, the women are going to actually probably teach us how to play. So that should be fun.
Exhibition.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's it.
That's it. Pete?
Thanks, Mayor. Just real quick, community activities, 2 quick updates. The Recreation Department is hosting the annual MP Virtual Marathon again this year. Join them to walk or run 26.2 miles in the month of November. All participants receive a long sleeve t-shirt and bragging rights. Registration is open now on Community Pass. So if you're interested, take a look at that. The DeCorso Center continues to offer daily opportunities for seniors to socialize, recreate, and learn something new, as well as enjoy special activities for the holidays. So you can check out the website www.newprov.org/seniors for that. The only other thing I would add is from a capital review standpoint, and Wendy, if you could take this back to our borough administrator, I think at the last meeting we had discussed getting the group together, and in light of our conversation today, it's probably a good idea as well. So if we could try to get that meeting sooner rather than later, that would be great. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, Mindy.
Okey-doke. So first, Business and Professional Association, I have a report. This upcoming Saturday, October 29th, will be downtown trick or treat. So downtown merchants invite all ghosts, goblins, princesses, and other characters to come trick or treat in their costumes from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, rain or shine. There should be like a little pumpkin in the window. So if you go up and you see a pumpkin, go on in and get some candy. The following day is our street fair. So the New Providence Street Fair, presented by Atlantic Health System and Union County Board of County Commissioners, returns to downtown New Providence on Sunday, October 30th. The fair will be held on Springfield Avenue between South Street and Livingston Avenue from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., rain or shine. There will be food, fun, entertainment, and merchants. This event would not be possible without the generous support from our sponsors: Atlantic Health System, Union County Board of County Commissioners, New Jersey Sharing Network, PPAC Private Wealth Management, Toronto Orthodontics, and Your Kids Urgent Care. So please join us. And one last call for voting for your scarecrows. So the scarecrows are on display throughout the downtown until November 1st. So please go into a participating merchant and you can fill out a ballot to vote for your favorite scarecrow. There's a lot of really good ones this year, so it's hard to choose. So that's what's going on there. Very quickly with the Municipal Alliance, this last Friday we had a follower drive. So we're trying to increase our social media presence on both Instagram and Facebook. So we went to football game. And what a better way to get followers on Instagram than to go find some high schoolers and give them some free merchandise. So we had some t-shirts that were donated to us by the high school. And we gave out t-shirts and our t-shirts, water bottles, I think little cups. And hats. The hats went first. So a lot of high schoolers, which is great because the audience we want to reach is the high schoolers educating about drug and alcohol awareness. We almost tripled our number of followers on Instagram. I'm not sure about Facebook. But for anybody who does want to join or follow the Alliance on Instagram, it's called New Prov Alliance. And on Facebook, it's New Providence Alliance to Prevent Alcohol and Drug Abuse. So go on to either one or both of those social media sites and follow us and keep updated on how we're bringing outstanding programs to our community. And that's it for me.
Okay, Rob.
Board of Health meeting tomorrow, but that's all I have.
Okay, Lisa.
I'm going to say operations are normal here.
Beautiful thing.
Not much going on.
Diane.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Education, the referendum is up for vote on, well, early voting and on the 8th, so please get out and vote. For the Historical Society, 4 Centuries in a Weekend was last weekend. It was the best turnout that they've had ever. We had the cemetery tours back by popular demand, and I believe that they were sold out. Well, they're free, but the slots were all taken, and a lot of younger kids actually went also, so it was a great event. They're very excited that the elementary schools will start to visit the Saltbox Museum again, and that's the first time that it's happened in years. Their annual dinner is in April, and their membership drive is going on, so please consider joining them. One other thing, I had the privilege of attending the soccer club event on Saturday. It's the 50th anniversary for the New Providence Soccer Club, which is pretty amazing. It started out with New Providence High School games. And then they also had a collection for the food bank and a cleats collection for underprivileged people. I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly where they were going, but that is spearheaded by a New Providence High School student. And after the games, the high school kids ran clinics for the younger kids in the soccer club, which was really, really great. There were well over 100 kids participating, so not even including the high schoolers. And Mayor Morgan was asked to speak, and he gave the kids a little pep talk and talked about our community, which was really nice. And Councilwoman Jeffrey and I were in attendance, which was a great event. So congratulations to them.
Okay, one update that I do want to give is that according, the last I heard, the bridge on Commerce Street is coming on November 1st. It'll be set down. Apparently they have to do some kind of construction on it while it's there. So they said that would take about a week and a half. So we're praying. Okay, anything for you, Wendy?
Operations normal.
Okay, we have public comments. Anybody can talk about any comments. We're going to limit the comments to 3 minutes. You can speak on any topic. Anybody wishing to address council?
Hi, Alan Swanson, 47 Overhill Road. Is the contract available for on the recycling? Is it something that
I could find out.
Well, we just approved it
We
tonight,
just-
so
yeah,
you'll-
it hasn't- oh,
you'll
yeah,
get
It hasn't been written up yet, the contract or the specs?
Well, I'm curious as to how the marketing works. There's no market, that's why I'm curious about the marketing. I'm just curious as to how it's working, how it works.
And all we do
marketing
is
goes-
pay for
yeah.
the pickup.
We pay for the pickup. Grand Sanitation does that. Then Grand Sanitation contracts with Bayshore Recycling. So at that point, it's Grand Sanitation that's dealing with the remarketing company.
Well, the resolution says that it pays for the collection and marketing, that's how it reads, so I'm just responding to that.
Well, they spend money to go market it, right? So
Yeah.
our contract is giving them money to do
Like,
that.
is there any interest in how it's marketed? The point I'm trying to get at is that we need to educate people. About 5% or less than 10% of the plastic that's collected in this country and in this state in particular is not recycled. So we have this mythology that goes on that if we put it out at the end of the driveway, that we've done our duty, we've recycled. And we used to do that, they used to get sent to China and a lot of it ended up in the ocean and whatnot. So I just think it's important that we be aware and educate ourselves as to what we're paying for. Is it in fact doing what it is that we're after? I won't belabor the point, I would like to be able to look at what they say the marketing plan is.
I guess you'd really have to contact Bayshore.
I mean, because they're one removed from Bayshore. We deal with Grand Sanitation. Grand Sanitation then
Right.
sends it off to
Okay,
Bayshore.
We're
I'm
required-
just responding to the
Yeah,
fact that
no,
the
I see what
resolution
you're saying,
states
yeah.
that you're paying
But
for
only-
marketing.
We are required by the state to pick up the recycling. That's what we're required to do. And that's what we pay for, them to pick it up. What they do with it, I guess they have to deal with the state agencies.
Okay. That's fine, thank you very much.
Okay.
I'd like to bring up one other thing, if I may. I've come twice, and I've said that I would help you out with accommodations for hearing loss. I sent a letter in, and Keith Lynch responded to the letter in which I offered again to come in to help you out with the system. The response was that they would turn up the volume and that they had the FM system and that they complied with ADA. I want to tell you a couple of things about ADA. It means that you have to make an accommodation. If someone came in who was blind, you would need to produce the documentation in Braille if they knew how to read Braille, or perhaps you would have to produce it in a transcript that was in Audible. It's an auditory transcript for the information. That would be an accommodation for someone who was blind. When I was here about 3 years ago, and I brought this up, this was before you even had the system put in, and I asked if someone who was deaf came in, the response was that, well, we would get somebody to interpret sign for them. I want to point out to you that less than 1% of people who are deaf understand sign. I'm not deaf, but I know a number of people who are, including my mother. And my mother didn't know sign. We had to write things to her. So it is an accommodation for someone who came in who doesn't know sign if they're deaf. The accommodation would have to be a transcription system or something like that, but along those lines. The point is that accommodation means that there's a range of disability. In my case, this system, this is an FM system. There are two systems that you can use. The FM system means that you need a receiver. And the reason I'm going over all of this is that I've asked a number of times to be able to come in and talk with people here about it, since I'm able to come in any time. And I'm taking your time up with this because I've just been sort of pushed away saying, we comply with ADA.
Helen, didn't, if I'm not mistaken, we said give the information to Bernadette and Wendy, and we'll contact
I received a
the
response. I received a written response saying, we'll turn the volume up, and we have an FM system that complies with ADA. That was the response. What I'm saying is, this is an FM system. First of all, if you can make it work here today, good luck. Second of all, it doesn't, what this requires is that I would have to remove my hearing aids, and I would have to use this particular speaker, which, first of all, is inadequate. The second thing is that each person that has a hearing loss is unique. They have different frequencies, different discrimination levels, and what happens is my hearing aids are programmed. The technology is fantastic. And so it allows me to function. Without the hearing aids, I'm dependent on the hearing aids. Without the hearing aids, we wouldn't be having this conversation, or I wouldn't be hearing you in the conversation. I'm able to say whatever I have. You don't notice anything about my hearing loss because it's an acquired hearing loss. It didn't come on until I was much older, so I don't have the typical vocal patterns that someone.
Well, you know what, I'll talk to Bernadette and see what kind of accommodation we can come up with.
Okay, what I'm trying to do is prevent you from having an ADA complaint. Okay, so that's why I'm taking up your time with this because I was pushed away.
But you're saying it's ADA compliant right now.
It is no, I'm saying Keith Lynch says it's ADA compliant. It is not ADA compliant.
Okay,
First of all, it doesn't work.
Study it more.
It doesn't work, and second of all, it doesn't work for me. And I have been trying to say, and just as I pointed out, that if someone walked in the door who was deaf and you say, oh, we'll get somebody that does sign language, it's meaningless to them. It's like speaking Greek to them if they don't know sign language. I'm frustrated because this has been going on for me with a number of years in front of you. And this year in particular, I've offered a number of times to work out off hours with someone here who's responsible for the system. Apparently it's Keith Lynch. He doesn't care to really respond to my coming in and helping him with it. He responds, it's okay, we're ADA compliant, and we'll turn the volume up. That's not ADA compliant.
You said that 3 times, we get it, and I'll talk to Bernadette about it, okay?
And what would I expect will be the result?
I will talk to Bernadette. I can't give you a result because I'm not talking to her yet.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to address council? Hi, Louisa.
Hi, so I'm Louisa Sagendorf. I live on Valentine Road, and I was the one who wrote the letter with my concerns about a once very quiet street that 30 years ago I bought instead of buying on Central Avenue. I bought on Valentine, and I bought on Valentine for a purpose. And now, with the rerouting of the school traffic, it is absolutely detrimental on my street in the mornings and in the afternoons. And what worries me the most are the walkers, not only the children, the dog walkers, the adults taking their children to school. I've never, ever in 30 years seen Valentine like I see it every morning now. It is disturbing. I am beyond upset that there was no other, what I did was, so what I want to tell you is on the action line I'm going to put, I was able to do some of my own videoing. Not only of Valentine, but the cars going over Valentine, going down Radcliffe, making the turnaround knee lane, coming all the way back around, because most of them do not make a right to go on to Springfield Avenue, because it's too hard to make the left out of Springfield Avenue. Okay, what they do is loop right back around and go right back down Valentine Road. So from 7, you'll see in the video, there's a lull in the beginning of the video to show you what the normal Valentine Road was. And then this constant swishing of cars. You'll see kids jumping onto the grass. You'll see the bikers. My area was always a heavy walking area, always, because of the footbridge, right? But now that footbridge is not. You got very few kids walking from Valentine or Radcliffe or any of the other surrounding streets, so you've just got the parents dropping them off there now. I don't know what studies were done when they decided that they were going to take a main throughway to get to the high school and middle school and put it on to a side street in New Providence was. I don't know. I don't know what study would tell you that that was the answer. Because Valentine is very narrow. Listen, we haven't even hit the bad weather yet. The pile of leaves aren't on the street yet. The snow isn't piled out there yet. None of that is even part of my worry at this point. If you came out there and sat, I'm telling you, you wouldn't want your grandkids walking on that street in the morning. You wouldn't want it. I'm lucky, I can't even get out of my driveway in the morning now. If I don't leave early enough for work, I can't get out. I've got people beeping as I'm trying to get out of my driveway. Never, ever has that ever happened to us. Never. Listen, you helped Magnolia out, right? You gave them speed tables. You took my stop sign away, which now increased speed as well, right? So do those, whatever you put up on the tree to do the traffic and all when this bad weather starts. Listen, BART hasn't even started so they're just taking it down, right? What's going to happen with those influx of people? What's that going to do to my street? Did we think about that? Was any of that thought about?
The police did think about a lot of different things. You know what? I'm going to send it back to the traffic division and then let them look at it.
I mean, I
Like
just
you
don't get
said,
it.
I can't imagine the people on Valentine on sidewalks.
Listen, I'll be long gone by then. We
What's
know
that?
that. Sidewalks don't happen in a year or two. We know that. Listen, that's not the only problem. The amount of traffic that was put onto a side streets that not even wide enough to begin with.
I hear what you're saying.
And we haven't even considered all the new building that's coming in. If they had, I don't know that they would have thought that this was such a smart idea.
Well, if they're coming from Board, they wouldn't be going down Valentine.
Well, where are they going to go? They're not going to be going down the road you just made a one-way. They're not going to go all the way around town.
I'm not good. Louise, I'm not going to argue with you. We'll send it to the traffic division.
But don't tell me they're not going to use Valentine. Half of the town is using it now. Why would they go all the way around town to get to the high school when they can do it right off of Central Avenue onto Valentine?
Okay.
It's not true. You know that, Al. Come on.
Okay, anyone else wish to address council?
I'd like to say this wasn't my idea. I was at Lantern Hill on on Sunday with my signs, defend our trees, and Officer Baska, maybe it was, very respectful gentleman, came along and said, this belongs in front of the council. And I don't know what good it's gonna do, but I just want to go on record on a couple things. There's an article in the New York Times last year, what technology could reduce heat deaths, trees. It goes on to say how trees lower the temperature to 10 degrees in the city. Okay, they're quite simply the most effective strategy and technology we have to guard against heat in the cities. 2020, highest carbon rate ever recorded in human history, highest global temperatures ever recorded, and science says the most important thing to do is to save our trees. Now, we all know what happened at Lantern Hill. I sent everyone here a certified copy by mail of all the evidence, and it's on my website. You know, hundreds of yards of soil, contaminated soil, was spread on Lantern Hill. Killed dozens of trees. Last year, the same time, I was out there trying to save a 200-year-old tree. And in my video, I compared that tree, it was all yellow, to a tree down below that wasn't buried in 3 or 4 foot contamination. And I was saying that it could be saved. It's dead. It just died. Another 6 trees will be dead by probably spring. Right next to it are 2 huge oaks like this, again buried. All you have to do is look at my website, any of the pictures, buried in 4 foot of contaminated soil. I didn't want to know about 13 fraudulent CEOs. I was at this meeting, as I mentioned before, 4/18/16. DeSarno was there.
Excuse me,
Yes.
decorum, Mr. DeSarno.
Mr. DeSarno, okay?
We treat you with respect.
Sure.
You treat us.
Well,
with
it's hard
respect.
considering all the crimes you committed. I'm sorry. But excuse me, Mr. DeSarno was at that meeting, and he can tell you that Keith Lynch said the place was polluted from years of plowing. A month later, there was another meeting, which you said was Candlewood residents, which was a private meeting. You knew that I had the pictures of them screening that soil, and you threatened to have me arrested because I walked in when Keith Lynch was lying to everybody again.
That's not true.
And telling it. You threatened everybody,
Gene,
me in front of the
stop.
whole town,
Stop.
the whole people, all those people.
Stop.
No,
It's not true what you're saying. So.
No, that's what you
Stop.
said last week,
No,
last time.
it's-
Somebody sent me the link. Let me finish.
You got-
Somebody,
you got a minute.
somebody sent me the link last week of the last time I was here at a meeting. Okay, and they said, and at the end, after I left the room, Al, okay, you told everybody that I wasn't telling the truth. Okay, now this is a flyer that's out there. Shameful facts. Town officials Alan Morgan, Keith Lynch, Andy Hipplett, Douglas Marvin, Peter DeSarno hid the contamination at Lantern Hill and allowed hundreds of yards of soil to be illegally graded on the hillside. Their criminal omissions killed dozens of old trees, destroyed natural drainage patterns, increased flooding. Perhaps the worst thing they did was knowingly allow the pollution of our groundwater. Every time it rains, it pollutes it more.
Thank you
So-
for your comments. It's
Yeah,
over
thank
3
you for your
minutes.
comments, all you guys. They're gonna love you in jail, especially you, Rizzo.
Mr. Rizzo.
Mr. Rizzo. Mr. Rizzo. That's what they're gonna call him in jail, let me tell you. Mr. Rizzo. No, I'm glad you get a big smile out of it, you know? Why don't you take a look? Why don't you take a look at what they did?
Gene,
They're gonna
it's
leave you
time
a
to
couple
leave.
flyers here.
Gene, it's time to leave.
Yeah, we're gonna leave you a couple flyers here. Here. If you need a despicable lawyer, call Borough Attorney Paul R. Rizzo. Outright liar.
Oh, boy.
Now tell people that I'm not telling the truth, huh?
Leave.
Tell them I'm not telling the truth.
I didn't
like
say
last
a
time, Al.
word. In fact, you know what,
Yeah,
Gene?
you tell
I
me
never
to
said
see
a
my
word.
face sometime.
Oh, I think I have. Okay. Anyone else wishing to address council? Sure, Pete.
How you doing? Pete Weiss. I also live on Valentine Road. I'm looking at the situation, both sides. I understand what had to be done. It's a reason to protect our kids at the high school. Very important, even though my son is long graduated. I think what we got to do now is just try to control things. We do have fast-moving vehicles on Valentine, and yes, Elaine, my wife, almost got run over the other day walking the dog. Hey, it's a narrow street. 3 things I suggest. Number 1, Mayor Morgan and I talked about paving the road earlier on. Road's in bad shape. I think we need some speed bumps. Bring the stop sign back. Have a 2-way stop at Magnolia. That's a major sidewalk crossing there. And number 3, our crossing guard at Valentine, he's getting killed. The added traffic is just putting a crazy workload on. I think about putting one of those flashing signs up at the corner also. I mean, I understand the situation. You can't change back what's been done. But let's control so we can slow these people down and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And also put it out there that please use the pool parking lot to drop off kids. It would
That's
help.
where they're supposed to go.
I don't think anybody knows that.
Oh, yeah, the high school
Yeah?
has sent out stuff. They
Really?
always say, yeah, people do, they take the shortest route.
Yeah, I know.
It's just human nature. But, we'll try and make some improvements.
I get concerned because the road's tight, as
I
you
know it is.
and the leaves are just, you can see it now with the piles starting, the kids are really getting into the road.
I know. I know.
Thank you.
And as I discussed with you, those digital flashing lights are on order. And they are going on the corner of Valentine and Central.
Right.
Those digital ones.
Because I know our
flashing
crossing
ones.
guard actually puts his own out right now.
Yeah.
So,
I can also, as a liaison, I can also talk to Dr. Michelli and also to Mr. Henry, who's the principal of the high school, and they can also send out a note just to remind everybody to be careful and the speed everywhere else, and we'll put it out to the PTAs and stuff like that.
Thank you.
We'll try to
But
get the word
I
out.
do understand what you're saying, Louise. I'm not deaf, and
I didn't say you were deaf.
No, but I understand.
What's the truth?
What's that?
What's there, you know what I'm saying? We've got to help what's happened.
Yeah.
We can't
Right.
continue it because, God forbid, the way those cars are on that street now, somebody gets hit. A
Okay.
child gets hit.
Yeah.
Then, we're in trouble.
Now, when the cold weather comes, kids aren't gonna be walking to school.
Oh, you're right about
They
that.
said I'm overburdened, and with the weather's one thing, but when you start getting cold weather, these kids aren't gonna be walking, it's gonna be more of a burden.
I hear you.
And, we're concerned, we see it every day, we don't want anybody hurt, so we're concerned about that as neighbors, and, we see these kids walk by every day. Bill Weiss is right, that Valentine's loaded with people walking their dogs, and just elderly people walking, and, in the morning, you can see people beeping the horn, and some people jumping on the grass, because they don't know what to do. And the big thing is when you see the video, you're gonna say, my God, because you're gonna see these cars go back and forth, okay, quickly, because especially for the parents who are late. When they're late, they're gonna do that quick, they're not gonna go all the way to full park.
Yeah, I know. I've seen Marion Avenue too. I mean, it's a nightmare.
But you took care of that.
Did you send that video to the borough?
I'm gonna send it,
Please.
do you want me to send it to the link, it's a YouTube link, to the,
To the action line? Yeah, please.
It's a drone, my brother-in-law did the drone, plus the video
And
of
it's all
that.
timed and sped up.
It's sped up so that.
Okay, yeah. Send it to the action line, we'll get it to the traffic bureau, and we'll take a look at it. Okay?
With one car in a matter of 20 minutes.
Yeah,
It ends up.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing no one, I declare the public hearing closed. I need a motion for items 1 through 7, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno?
Aye.
Mrs. Joffroy?
Yes.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
You know what? I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it. Okay, everybody be safe out there. Election day is coming. Don't forget to vote, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Good night, folks.